is that all of it is going to catch up. And we're not, these people here, this administration and people aren't doing it the right way. And to see the Democrat Party and the Republican Party constantly going at war is not what I think helps America or the American people. When they should be in there and they should be level-headed. Look we've been in many systemic events before in our past, and there are ways that you can address it, and there are things that could work. Whether that's cutting the taxes for a couple of more years, what's going to happen to the Bush tax cuts, who knows? That's in 2011. But the stock market is forward-looking. And so if we have failure, which I believe we will, if I want to short the Dow 3 years out, I can go use leaps going 39 months out. And I can kick back on my sofa, and I already know where we're going and what that failure is. And the one guy asked the best question there, and that was the forefront question, is what are we going to do about these trade practices that we have around the world? And I believe that we aren't taking the stance that we should, and we are not making the laws or legislation that we should to protect trade agreements around the world. Most important thing is that manufacturing needs to return to the U.S. That's what built the U.S. since it's been the U.S. And things have gotten totally out of control. Potential inflation, raising taxes, building highways and painting government buildings is not sustainable, because when the job is done, and someone's going to have to pay for all of that, and it's an artificial way, it's a short-term relief. But short-term relief is not sustainability. So therefore, we are got more challenges that will be ahead. Now, the way that the stock market and all of these policies, which affect everything, is what people actually are going to believe in. And the most important thing here now is that as we move forward in 2010, is how you are going to get wealthy. Because when it does go miserable, as it already is, you can profit and literally make a fortune. And you have to be directed. So anyway, that's my take. I don't want to put a lot on the tape. We'll be doing some other series to follow up on this as a economic ebook video. I put up here because I needed to have something on the screen, and I thought I would show you where the Dow is just today from the time that they talked about it. And more importantly is on the weekly chart, the Dow remains below, and it's flirting with disaster. And we're about to turn this market. This week, today is Wednesday, it's a third week of a 5-day move. There's some stabilization going here, but all the fancy words and all of the failed stuff out of the Reid, the Pelosi, and all of the healthcare gimmicks, and to come on TV and say that small businesses have been helped is false. They have not gotten help, and banks are not lending to them. So, there are ways that would work. Stay tuned. Come back another day, or call us at 702-685-0772. 702-685-0772. There are many issues, and we are not doing it correct. Because when the stimulants wear off, and inflation gets out of control, and businesses aren't hiring, that means that the unemployment rate goes higher. And if you take a look at the different regions or the different states who are suffering because their fiscal budget per state, so we got state of Las Vegas, we got all the states in the union that are suffering. And the Internal Revenue Service is suffering, the Treasury Department is suffering in America, and people abroad and the consumer, you and me, we're suffering. Because we are. And we are in very uncertain times, and if something doesn't change and the policies don't get right, so now they claim, okay, well, let's work together. Yeah, he's saying let's work together so I can get my stupid health care bill. Everyone should have health care. There's a good way and a bad way. And everything about the TARP funds that we're going to have, so whatever that they're going to do in Congress would be up. You could view it on a website. Hey, it's all been done behind closed doors, people. We haven't seen nothing. And all of these little shenanigans with the Harry Reid and all of their little closed door meetings behind everything, I don't see where the American public has had the right kind of disclosure. And as all of it wears off, going 9, 12, 18 months forward from here, you will see how and why things have a way of catching up. But the markets themselves, as we move forward, are always going to look 6 to 9 months out. And if we don't start getting some favorable things done, there's going to be a problem. And that administration right there, I'm not here to put them down, but you don't go after the banking system. And we never knew what was in those TARP funds. We never knew the real story. I mean, what the worst legislation and people meeting to make these big decisions that affect us all. So it's how you make good with it as far as the long-term outlook. Now, this is not based on today, but forward-looking. And where does it really end up? And what will be the mechanics of that disaster? We're here to teach you that because, you know, we know what it looks like. We know the differences in different policies, and we're very good at it. And we've seen ones that have succeeded before in the U.S. economy, but now what has succeeded in the past is not being implemented now. So, therefore, it's a big mess on that whole speech that they gave today. And I find it very deceptive.